In 1960, before passing the Fair Housing Act, which made it illegal to discriminate against black home buyers, just 38% of the black community owned a home. That's compared with 65% of their white peers. Now, more than 60 years later, a survey in 2021 found black home ownership still lagged dramatically below white homeowners, with just 44% of African Americans owning homes compared to 72% of white Americans. Well, our next guest is hoping to change that. She says planting the right seeds now will help increase that number. Managing realtor Donna Rogers is the author of the book, Who Got the Keys? She joins us in studio. Donna, thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure.
And the pleasure's all ours, especially for the viewers, because this is something that's very important, especially to start at a young age. That's exactly what you did, didn't you?
Yes, yes. Thanks to my dad and my mom, John Rogers, they exposed my siblings and I to real estate at an early age. My very first job was fixing the apartments to prepare them for their tenants. And I thought that that was the norm, only to figure out amongst my peers that it was not the norm in regards to those in the black and brown community. And so now I feel very passionate about passing that torch.
Do you find that in the black community, that's not really a priority to own a home?
I wouldn't say it's not a priority. It's almost like you don't know what you don't know until you know it. And so a lot of times we're not exposed until later on in life, and possibly the credit is messed up. Now we have debt, all of those adult responsibilities. And so my goal is to expose young people at an early age so we can help them set a ownership mindset early.
What age should you start thinking about owning a home or property?
I would say at least at the stage of being in high school.
Really?
Because it's a mindset first. I teach the young people it's a mindset. And so we want the young people to know about the credit, to know about the budgeting. So when they become young adults, because I received my first property at 22. So when they become young adults, it's not foreign to them. So they're mindful of their spending habits and different things like that that can affect their ability to become homeowners at an early age.
Do you teach them, do you have like a pattern or some type of a syllabus as to how they should do it, at what age do this and what age do that?
Absolutely, absolutely. So we first teach them what is real estate, why black home ownership matters. We teach them the different strategies of real estate investing. We go over budgeting, we go over credit. And most importantly, my favorite chapter is the final chapter, because it's about using your keys now. What can they do now to prepare themselves to become homeowners in the future?
And it's not just home ownership, but you're teaching them how to live life the right way, you know,
Absolutely.
in America.
Absolutely. We teach them leadership skills as well, mainly because you have to be a property manager. You have to manage your property, even if you're hiring someone else to manage your property. You have to manage people, and so we teach them first, in order to effectively manage other people, you have to first effectively manage yourself. And so we teach them skills about leadership. We teach entrepreneurship skills. Yes, everyday skills that they can learn and master now, so it will be an advantage to them later in life.
Do any of the kids find this intimidating?
No, a lot of the kids say, I never heard of real estate. I didn't know I can invest in real estate. I didn't know that this was possible. And so they don't find it intimidating. We make sure that it's very engaging. We make sure that we teach it in a level that they're comfortable with. And we also challenge them as well. So I haven't had any students that found it intimidating so far.
In the black community, there are a lot of homes that maybe not perfect, but do you teach them how to go in there, fix that home up and turn it around?
Absolutely. So this summer, I'm excited because we had an internship program with the Chicago Housing Authority, and we took 15 young people. They had a paid internship. We took them to distressed properties. We showed them the process. We showed them how you do drawings and plans. We had different real estate professionals to come out to speak to them, to show them what the process is to restore a home and why it's important.
So how long have you been doing this, and have you seen some of your kids go and buy homes?
Absolutely. So I myself have started to do this at the end of 2019.
Okay.
I really heavily got involved in 2020 during the pandemic.
Wow.
We did it online, started off online. And so yes, we have young people who have actually become real estate professionals and have received their license. We give away scholarships in honor of my late dad to continue his legacy. And we also have young people that are currently in the process of purchasing their own multi-unit property now.
That's fabulous. Tell me about the event that's coming up, but we have to say it's not open to the public. These are just for specific teens that you already have chosen.
Yes, unfortunately, it's not open to the public. And so there's a program, an event that we have in partnership with the Hope Center at the House of Hope with my great pastor, Pastor Meeks and Pastor Dates. And so it's in a 4 days event. It's the Youth Real Estate Summit. It's a 4-day where we're teaching the youth about real estate investing, why it's important. We have different community partners. guidance that's going to be coming out is for the juniors and seniors. We have scholarships that will be given away for those who may not be ready for college, and even if there is, to expose them to the process in the professions of real estate industry.
Now, this is extracurricular, right? This is in addition to their school.
Yes. Yes, and it's during a school day.
Oh.
So a lot of times when I go into the schools, I'm teaching during the school day. It may sometimes be on their lunch period, which is even better because they voluntarily come in through the session and graduate. But this is something that it should be a way of life. It should be beyond extracurriculum because this is necessary in order to build wealth.
What is the hardest thing you found in teaching these children, you know, as far as when they grow up and, you know, what to do with real estate and things like that?
The challenge is if I'm teaching them one thing and they may go into an environment that's teaching them something else or not at all. And so because of that, we find it just as important that we are exposing mom and dad and their guardians as well, because again, it's about building generational wealth.
And we talk about you going to the schools. You were a professor for a long time at Chicago State University.
Yes, I was a business professor at Chicago State University. I also graduated from Chicago State University. And so, yes, it's so important to me. I'm very passionate about educating others. I believe in the power of empowering people.
And I may have asked you this already, but what age is too young?
I don't believe that an age is too young. And the reason why I say that is because exposure makes the difference. It wasn't what my parents said to me. I watched my father rebuild homes. I watched my mom and dad collect rent. So I heard conversations. You know, we receive our allowances by fixing doors and painting units. And so I did that at a very young age. And so there is no limit on exposing your young person to the real estate process as much as possible.
I love it. Donna Rogers, thank you so much, and good luck to you and all the teens.
Thank you for having me.
You can find the book and more at whogotthekeys.com.